Thank you very much for being here. We're ready to start. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Already looked after?
No, this is closed session, I have nothing in closed.
No, but you still declare it
Well,
to,
I-
Not for in camera, for the regular
no,
agenda?
regular agenda, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Three.
For the regular agenda, yes, I do. I'll refrain from voting with regard, when it comes staff reports and also with bylaw section. And I've filed the necessary paperwork with the clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Anything? Okay, I'm going to ask that we go into closed session, please. So, need a mover and a seconder to go into closed. Councillor Alia, Councillor Boyce. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. We will be back. Thank you very much. We'll call this meeting to order, and I'm going to ask you to stand for the Indigenous Land Acknowledgement Statement and the National Anthem, and then we'll be able to sit down. Thank you.
We begin this meeting by acknowledging that Quinte West is on Indigenous land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. We thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Long before today, there have been Indigenous peoples who have been the stewards of this place. In particular, we acknowledge the traditional territories of the Anishinaabeg, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte First Nation. This territory is covered by numerous treaties. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize the contribution of the Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples have made, both in shaping and strengthening this community in particular, and our province and country as a whole. This acknowledgement serves as recognition of the contributions and historical significance of Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island and demonstrates our collective commitment to meet the promises and address the challenges of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission within our community.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here today. It's such a lovely day, and yeah, the only word you need to mention to me is called rain. That's the one I'd like to hear. Yeah, but I don't think it's... any announcements from council? Start with Councilor Quinte.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. The hard work of Quinte West Public Works has been going on at the small park located on Colonial Road, and they will soon be ready to take the gates down and let the little kids run crazy in there. A project that was planned, I think, 3 or 4 years ago and got budgeted for, and we're finally seeing that project come to completion. Hallelujah. Thanks.
Good news. Councilor Stedall? No, Councilor McHugh.
Yes, I'd be remiss, having been a former firefighter, if I didn't comment and commend our Station 1 in particular, who got the initial call for Queen Street last week, a major fire there, and maybe I could call upon the chief to talk about it. I understand we had mutual aid come in as well, and that's a great thing, knowing that not only do we have our own people protecting us here in Quinte West, but the surrounding municipalities all help out as well.
Have you taken a look outside?
Is there a fire truck out there?
Well, there's a red truck.
I'd love to go for a ride for about the next hour and a half.
Well,
I'll help you out.
I think we can hook you on a hose, we'll drive. Chief, do you want to mention any more about that? Thank you.
Yes, Your Worship, through you, the Council McHugh and the rest of the council. Yes, another significant event, and we had 35 firefighters, and we were there for about 8 hours on Queen Street, and we brought in Belleville's aerial to assist our aerial truck. And I'm so proud of our career and our volunteer firefighters working together, and no injuries after a large event like that, and that just tells everything to me on our training and our professionalism. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And you could also mention about the latest, I guess you'd say investment this council has made?
Yes, Your Worship, the council, yes, we have our, it just was dispatched just shortly to a call, but we had our new pumper out here for council to see, and I hope we can come back when you're leaving this meeting to take a look.
Want to tell us how we got that truck? Thank you.
Well, yes, we got it through our our procurement policy, and it's one of the manufacturers that we've been dealing with that are very high quality, and I'm very happy to say that truck, I did actually, that truck came in at $763,000, and we were able to get that truck within 4 months, where other municipalities are paying quite a bit more for a truck, and upwards to 2 years, 2 to 3 years actually, from an order. So, thank you.
We appreciate the leadership that you and Deputy demonstrate. Good people are dealing with good people, and that's what helps all of us. So I thank you so much for
Thank you, Your Worship.
the work you do. And that truck was a demonstrator, and it was demonstrated in various cities within the province of Ontario, and we put our name on it, and we were glad and pleased that we were able to get it. And the truck that we sold to this one replaces, any comments on the condition of the truck we sold?
Well, it was close to 20 years old, and the frame was had our mechanic Paul Lafferty identified a spot on the frame that would have been very expensive to fix, and it ended up going to the States for I believe $60,000 or close to that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate the good work. Okay. Anything else from Councilor Sharp? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to just note that the Quinte West has announced an accessibility plan survey. It was just launched yesterday, and we encourage residents to certainly contribute to this survey. It's required as a result of our standards, integrated accessibility standards from the province. And the data we collect will come to the accessibility committee, which myself and Councillor Freeman sit on, and many members of the community. So we take this feedback very seriously. The deadline for community engagement is November 7th, and the accessibility multi-year plan, we're going to look for data not just on facilities, but programs and services. So I wanted to highlight that today. I also wanted to add, as a result of the fire, there were individuals, the recent fire, individuals displaced, and I want to acknowledge the community partners for success. They have been very helpful, as they are, in helping displaced or homeless individuals. Councillor Carr is a very active volunteer, and I just wanted to acknowledge what they are doing and let everyone know there's a call out for, but in particular, men's clothing, jeans, sweaters, sweatpants, shoes, size 10 up to size 13, boots, coats. So they're always needing assistance, but in this particular matter, they've done a call out for men's clothing. So thank you.
Very much. Thank you very much. Anything else? Anyone? Councillor Freeman?
Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I got to back up just a little bit back to the chief and the fire trucks. I went to a number of those shows, the fire truck shows, and it was amazing how many people thought the world had gone. And he knew that if there was anything he should know about, they'd make sure he knew. And it got us some great deals. And I'll say the same for Public Works. Rapport is built over years and years and years. And when there's a deal to be had, they're not going to go to somebody they've known for a couple of hours. They know these people. They know that if they say they'll work it out, they will. And it's just a trust and just plain pleasure to work with them. So thank you to both Public Works and the fire department for developing those relationships over many, many years.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Councillor Reid?
Thank you very much. I would just like to say a very large congratulations to Frankfurt resident Harold Wood. He celebrated 50 years of volunteer work with Frankfurt Lions Club last evening at the Frankfurt Lions Hall. The Frankfurt Lions Club hosted an evening for him, and he is just as active as he was probably 50 years ago, still volunteering and talking about the projects that he's going to be spearheading and working along with the other Lions members in the near future, and hopefully as long as he can. So congratulations, Harold. What an accomplishment, 50 years with the Frankfurt Lions Club. You've seen lots and lots of things happen in our village.
Yes, thank you very much. And he is a great guy, and he's there every time I go to a hockey game. He's there, so it's fantastic to have people like Harold. Councillor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. I want to thank Councillor Sharp for relaying that ask for donations to the community, and also to acknowledge the Hastings County Community and Human Services Committee recently made some recommendations to the Hastings County Council for 2026 budget allocations, and looking at that, I just wanted to say that I appreciate our members, Councillor Sharp, Councillor O'Neill, and Councillor Armstrong. I think that the recommendations are very supportive of social services in Quinte West, and very appreciative. I want to acknowledge them.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll go on. Any disclosures of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof?
Yes, Your Worship. I have declared a pecuniary interest with regard to the approval of the planning minutes of December 18th, 25th meeting. In particular, staff reports 25076 PD and 25078 PD. As previously declared, I have submitted the proper paperwork to the clerk for that. Also, I'll refrain from any discussion or voting with regard to the bylaw that pertains to that planning meeting as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Stedall?
I have as well have the same conflict of interest with item 10.2, the planning and development minutes with regards to 20 South Street, as well as a conflict with the bylaw 25-129, the bylaw for rezoning 120 or 20 South Street, as well as a conflict with 11.1, the decision item. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? No? Okay. Okay, I need an approval of the agenda, please. Mover and seconder, Councillor Quinte and Councillor McHugh. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Minutes of the regular council meeting held on October the 1st be approved, and further that the minutes of the closed session council meeting held on October 1st be approved. Mover and seconder for that, please.
Councillor Reid.
Councillor Reid, okay, thank you. Moved by Councillor Reid, seconder. Need a seconder? Councillor McHugh. Okay. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay. All right. Delegations. We got Greg Cook, Santec Consulting Limited, and Lee Collins, Project Manager, Highway Engineering Project Delivery, East Ministry of Transportation, will talk to us about the 401 Planning Study in Quinte West project. Okay, I imagine they're on. Yeah, they are right there. Thank you, guys. Men, gentlemen, for coming here. I know I don't like to travel the 401 either, and obviously I'm not the only one. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you. It's a great highway, and yeah, it's expanding. Just be careful. Yes, you're making it right. You're doing it. You're expanding it to make it safer. Go ahead.
So I'll start. So hi, everyone. Yeah, as mentioned, I'm Lee Collins. I'm the lead project engineer with MTO for this project. So this project is the preliminary design and EA for the replacement of structures and future winding on the 401 from 0.4 kilometers west of Christianity Road to 1 kilometer west of Wallbridge Loyalist through Quinte West. So this is approximately about a 20-kilometer stretch of Highway 401. So for this project, we procured Stantec Engineering to complete this work. And today they'll be presenting this project. We're coming up to Public Information Center 2. So we wanted to share our project with you guys. Greg, do you want to take over?
Sure. Thanks, Lee. And thanks, Mayor and Council, for providing an opportunity to provide an update on this project. So we started this project back in 2022, and we had our first public information center in February of 2024. So we would have done a council meeting around that time. So today, as Lee mentioned, we wanted to provide an update on the study as we head into Public Information Center number 2. So today we want to provide a little bit of background on the study. It may be a little bit of a repeat what we did presented last year, but we'll provide an overview of the study. At PIC number 1, we presented a range of alternatives. So we want to talk a little bit about the evaluation of alternatives, and then focus in on the technically preferred plan that we're going to present at PIC 2. Then we'll talk a little bit about potential impacts and proposed mitigation and next steps. So I think Lee covered most of this off. As he mentioned, it's a planning, preliminary design, environmental assessment study. The Highway 401 limits are within the city of Quinte West. So we're looking at, the project is really driven by structures and bridge replacement. The structures were all constructed in the late 1950s, I believe, or early 1960s, and are in need of rehab or replacement. So that's the driver of the study. So we're looking at all of the structures within the study limits, but we're also doing long-range planning because the structures will be designed for a 75-year life cycle. So we need to understand what the 401 will look like, during the life of those bridges, so that we can design the bridges appropriately. So as part of that, we're also looking at interchange modifications at Wooler Road, Glen Miller Road, and County Road 33, because they could be the structures could be impacted by future interchange configurations. And we're also looking at the Highway 401 footprint. So we're looking at 6 lanes and 8 lanes again, so that we can design those structures accordingly. And then there's one commuter parking lot at Wooler Road that will be impacted by the interchange modifications. So this is a bit of a repeat from what we presented before, but this challenges and opportunities provide a bit of a framework for the study. So what are the problems and what are we trying to solve here? So as I mentioned, many of the bridges and culverts in the study area are nearing the end of their service life and require rehab or replacement. And also when we go to replace these bridges, quite often the 401 platform cannot accommodate traffic staging that's required to rehab or replace the structures. So the opportunities here, we're looking at assessing bridges and culverts to determine replacement strategies, rehab and replacement strategies to maintain the safe operation of Highway 401, both for the current and future planning horizons.
Greg, sorry to interrupt you, but are you not showing your screen if you're presenting the...
Oh, is that right? Okay, thanks, Lee.
Sorry about that.
My apologies. Can you see that now?
I can't. I'm not sure if anyone else can.
No.
I
No,
cannot
we
see
can't
it.
either, no.
Okay, it shows that I'm sharing, but how about now?
It's working now. Yep.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, there's 2 clicks there. So yeah, and then just to finish off the opportunities here again, it's a bit of a repeat here, but for the structural planning purposes, we're looking at the future Highway 401 footprint for both 6 lanes and 8 lanes to ensure appropriate design of the structures. Okay, so we're following the environmental assessment process for provincial transportation facilities. And this is what we call a Group B process. There was a change in the Class EA from when we started to now, but we're continuing on with the 2000 version of the Class EA. And as I mentioned, this is a Group B project, which includes major improvements to existing provincial transportation facilities. So at the end of this study, we will document the study in a transportation environmental study report, and that will be made available for a 30-day public review period. So in terms of consultation for this study, there's been several forms of, I guess, formal contact. There's been public notices, there's a project website, there's been public information center, and we're having public information center number 2 coming up. There's been Indigenous community consultation, municipal consultation. We've had municipal technical advisory committee meetings, and we actually have one tomorrow. We've had external agencies involved. We've had industry and business owner consultation. And as I mentioned, the last formal point of consultation is the Transportation Environmental Study Report. So in terms of a project overview and getting a little more into the specifics, so we're looking at kind of 4 components of the corridor. As I mentioned, the bridge improvements, which are the driver of the study. So we're looking at 8 different locations where there's existing bridges. Christiani Road at the west end of the study limit, Wooler Road, CNR Overhead Bridge, the Stockdale Road Bridge, the Trent River Bridge, Glen Miller Road Bridge, St. Hilaire Road Bridge, and the Aikens Road Bridge. We're also looking at culverts and drainage throughout the study area. There's actually 2 structural culverts, which are large culverts with more than 3 meter spans. So we have 2 structural culverts that we're looking at, and also looking at minor culverts as well. We're also looking at highway improvements. So as I mentioned, looking at future Highway 401 footprints, so looking at 6 laning and 8 laning. We're also looking at some of the horizontal curves for opportunities to improve the horizontal alignment. And then we're looking at interchange improvements. So as I mentioned at PAC1, we presented a range of alternatives for each component of the study and presented that to the public. And then we took back the feedback, and at the same time, we're also undertaking several environmental studies to develop a baseline to evaluate the alternatives. So we run the alternatives through an evaluation process, just summarized here on the left. And then we use several criteria to evaluate the different alternatives. So we're looking at impacts to engineering factors such as traffic operations, geometrics and safety, constructability and utilities. We also look at impacts to the social and cultural environment, including property, noise and air quality, archaeology, built heritage, and contamination. And then we also look at potential impacts to natural environment. So upon the completion of the evaluation, we identified what we're calling a technically preferred plan. So this first slide speaks to the 401 cross-section, where again, we're looking at 4 laning and 6 laning. So we had divided the study area into 5 different sections based on the existing cross-section of the existing median. So each section of the 401 is a little bit different in terms of median. Some has a wide median, some areas have a narrow median with tall wall barriers. So there's different options that we looked at for each section. So in section 1, where there's an existing 18.2 meter wide median, again, we looked at widening generally to the inside, to the outside, and both inside and outside. And we've selected the alternative number 2, which is widened to the inside and outside. So that means 1 lane will be widened to the inside to the median, and 1 lane will be widened to the outside of the existing footprint. In section 2, which is a little bit further east, same result. We're widening to the inside and outside. Sections 3 and 5, which is the bulk of the study area, where we have an existing narrow median, obviously we'd be widening to the outside. We did look at another alternative to reduce the median a little bit, but we've decided to widen to the outside in section 3 and section 5, so meaning that 2 lanes on the outside in both directions. And then section 4, this is really the Trent River crossing, and this was driven by constructability and staging requirements of the bridge. So we're widening out the median there a little bit to help with constructing the bridge, which results in widening to the outside. So this next slide speaks to the preferred bridge improvements at each location. So top left, we have Christianity Road, an existing underpass. So again, we presented alternatives for each of these locations, generally looking, new alignment to the west, new alignment to the east, or replacing on existing. At Christianity, our evaluation has determined that the best plan is to replace on the existing because it minimizes property impacts and maintains the existing alignment of the roadway. A little bit further east, there's an existing CN rail overpass. The railway is no longer utilized. The tracks are no longer there underneath the highway. To the north of the crossing, the property has been sold to, it's now private property. However, CN still does own the corridor to the south of 401. So we did look at alternatives here. We looked at replacing with a new rail bridge, replacing with a pedestrian bridge or a recreational bridge, or removing that crossing altogether and essentially filling in the culvert. So that's the alternative that we selected. There were some comments preferring active transportation corridor at this location, so maintaining some kind of crossing. However, given that the property on both sides of 401 is private property, there's really no mechanism to connect a trail across Highway 401. A little bit further east, Stockdale Road is an overpass. Nothing significant here. The overpass will be replaced at the existing location. Bottom left is St. Hilaire Road, so this is very similar to Christianity Road. The new bridge will be replaced in the same location as the old bridge. And similarly, bottom right, Aikens Road. So new bridge, replacing the existing bridge in the same location. A little bit hard to see here, but there are cross sections of each of these bridges across 401. I guess it was at MTAC 1, we consulted with city staff and identified opportunities to include active transportation facilities on these bridges. On these 4 bridges, it's a shoulder that's available for cycling and pedestrians. This is the preferred Wooler Road interchange. So we did look at several different configurations here. So the existing interchange is kind of shown in gray here. So this is a new interchange that accommodates the 401 widening, but also provides a bigger loop ramp for traffic coming from the south and to the west. So that's the predominant move at this location, is from the south into the west and from the west into the south. So a large diameter loop ramp is provided there to provide a direct movement from the south into the west. The other ramps generally can be constructed outside of the existing footprint. There is the existing carpool lot is impacted and will need to be relocated to the northwest quadrant. The next section of the preferred plan shows the Trenton Frankfurt road crossing and Glen Miller road crossing. We grouped these together because they're so close together. Again, we looked at a few alternatives at Trenton Frankfurt Road, mostly, again, looking at improving the size of those loop ramps to accommodate higher design speeds on 401 and the crossing road. The Glen Miller interchange, there was a previously completed transportation environmental study report done for that area. So essentially, we're matching that previous plan, but we're improving some of the exit ramps slightly to accommodate higher design speed on Highway 401. So in addition to developing a technically preferred plan, we're also looking at potential impacts and proposed mitigation measures. Again, building on the environmental studies that we've completed as part of the study. So this is very high level overview of some of the potential impacts and mitigation. Starting with archaeological and built heritage resources, we did a stage 1 archaeological assessment, which is essentially a desktop study that identified some potential, some areas of potential archaeological resources. So the next steps are to complete a stage 2 archaeological assessment, which actually includes field work, and that will be done during detailed design. Property impacts, you can imagine along the corridor when we're looking at widening to 6 and 8 lanes. There's several property impacts, along parallel to the corridor, as well as at interchange locations where we're providing interchange improvements. So in total, there's about 71 property impacts along the corridor, and 1 or 2 potential full buyouts. We're also looking at noise impacts, so we're doing a noise assessment as part of the study. And as part of that study, we're looking at the impacts of expanding the highway and potential mitigation, looking at traffic operations, and most specifically during construction. So looking at opportunities for staging to minimize traffic disruption during construction and also detours. And then the natural environment, again, at a very high level, looking at impacts and potential mitigation that will be documented in the Transportation and Environmental Study Report and carried forward to detailed design. So in terms of next steps, so yeah, we are gearing up for Public Information Center number 2. And again, that's to present the technically preferred plan. So at the PIC, we'll have much bigger displays and, showing the entire corridor in much more detail. So we'll present that to the public November 5th. And then following that PIC, we'll be collecting input comments from the public and agencies, and we'll take that information and further refine the plans and develop a recommended plan and finalize those mitigation measures. And then at the conclusion of the study, we will document the study in the Transportation Environmental Study Report. So we're targeting the spring of 2026 for that report to be available for public comment. And then the project will be eligible for environmental clearance. And then beyond this study, future stages would include detailed design and construction. So that's beyond the scope of this current planning study. So just in terms of Public Information Center number 2, some of the details. So again, November 5th, the time is 4 to 7 p.m. at the Duncan MacDonald Memorial Community Gardens, the same place that we held PIC number 1. There is an external agency session from 3 to 4, and council is certainly invited to attend the external agency meeting in advance of the public meeting at 4 p.m. So that was a lot from me. That concludes our presentation, and we're available for any questions.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll open up questions. Councillor Quincy, then Councillor Stedlow.
Yeah, thanks very much. So I'm going to guess that you're not going to tell us when the project is actually just getting started. You're just letting us know we're in the planning stages. And then I have another question is, you mentioned about a higher design speed. What is that? What is a higher design speed?
Yeah, so first question, in terms of timing, we don't have a firm answer on when construction will start. But it will likely proceed in phases based on structural condition. So again, the structures are kind of driving the schedule. So as each structure is, nearing the end of its service life, those structures will proceed. And at that time, the ministry will decide, whether it's one structure, two structures, or how to bundle the project. But yeah, at this point, we don't have a good handle on timing. Second question, in terms of design speed, everywhere across the province, speed limits are increasing to 110 kilometers per hour. So the design speed for this, for the Highway 401 is 130 kilometers an hour. Typically, we design for 20 kilometers over posted. So the previous standard was 120. So the higher design speed is 130.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a few questions. So the last time that you were here and you did a presentation to us, there was council, I believe it was Councillor Armstrong brought up, and the question was about Aikens Road and even an additional exit at St. Hilaire. The exits you talk about and what Councillor Quinte was just talking about, the increased speeds to get to traffic up to a certain speed, the interchanges are so close together right now between 33 and Glen Miller, and the next exit. Right. But they're so close that now you're going to get the speeds up there to over 130 to try to get people, to get them on and off. I think that's not only dangerous, but I also think it deters people from trying to get off. So if we're trying to, and trying to entice people to come to our community and to, if they're trying to get on and off the exits there, with the speeds that are coming and the interchanges so close is difficult. And I don't know, if that has been taken in to consideration. And I guess the other, few other things, there's a conversation about not doing anything with this railway overpass because it's private lands on both sides, and so therefore we shouldn't have an additional, anything so that we can trail and bridge between the two of them. To me, that is something that I think in a long-range plan, we should be taking a look at trying to improve those types of trails and that type of improvement. But there's a lot of items that you're bringing up, even with the discussion on not having, the St. Hilaire and the Aikens Road. If we don't have an exit there, my understanding is, in talking to MTO operations, is there's a problem because there's such a long gap between Wallbridge Loyalist Road and Glen Miller exit, and the trucks come around the corner. There's a turn in the road. The transport trailers can't turn very easily, and they tend to have accidents. Then once the accidents happen, you end up with a backup of traffic right on the 401. People can't move. You end up being trapped. There's no washrooms. There's no alternative exits. Those types of things. And these are the kinds of questions I know we raised when you came and spoke to us about a year ago, and I believe they've been brought up at the PIC, and I don't see any of this kind of information being brought forward. And here we're still looking at the same design you were talking about before, trying to give minimal impacts on what is currently private property when we know our community is growing and we have to look at the 20-year plan. If one of the things that you're saying is that you're not sure when construction's going to start, in knowing how roads project starts, we're probably looking at least a minimum of 3 years before the construction gets started, if not longer. So this is going to be something that we need to be pre-planning for. Our population growth, and we've got figures that back that up, how much we're going to be growing. We should be planning for that, and I believe an additional exit in this stretch is merited.
Thank you. And we have talked about we've talked to the ministry about an additional exit on our 401. And they're really very receptive as long as we pay for it. Yeah. Said you can
Yeah,
have
the
another.
response to that specific question is so that's not in our current study, but you know, an additional access at I believe it's Saint Hilaire is what the city was asking for. This does not preclude an additional interchange at that location if the municipality, you know, would like to pursue that in the future.
And listen, we realize it's not on your plate, it's not on your, design, but it should be. That's what we're saying, is that somebody has to take a look, outside the box and figure out what's ahead of us and what is causing the number of accidents that are occurring on that 401, especially with the trucks. And, you can blame the driver, but that's not always the answer. So we're asking you, that's what we're doing, and we did this before, to look outside the box and look at what you can do to make the highway, yes, wider, but also safer. Anything else? Councilor
Yeah, and the
Armstrong.
one thing that I didn't show and it will be shown at the PIC, I think the councilor mentioned the curve. You know, we are looking at improving horizontal curves as well to improve safety on the highway, as well as the interchange configurations are being improved to improve safety, again, to address those, the higher design speed. In terms of the Aikens Road, yeah, I mean, my understanding is our understanding is that, it's not included in this current study. I think there's some land use planning that needs to be done first, but when the city is ready to discuss that, then, what we're doing here does not preclude an interchange, an additional interchange at that location.
Yeah, okay, Councilor Armstrong.
Things have changed in a year, so keeping in tune with that, have you considered any tunneling? For example, under the railroad?
No, we have not.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. I guess, CO Angelo, if the public have specific questions, they can work through you and you'll get to the people who are doing the project. Is that that's what I'm suggesting.
Well, I think, Your Worship, what the delegation is suggesting is they come out to the Public Information Center at the Dunk Memorial Arena on November 5th and express their concerns. And I'll certainly follow up with the MTO and Mr. Cook about some of the things that Council's talked about, similar to what we've talked about before, about that active transportation path, as well as ensuring that those future bridges do accommodate a potential interchange if we want to see that in the future.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Oh. Okay, well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. And yes, I've been around a long time, and I can tell you that the last section of the 401 open was from Highway 30 to Coburg and Port Hope. Yes, I worked at a service station as a young fella, and we spent many hours out there with a tow truck pulling people out of the barriers that were placed on the 401, and they were supposed to stop before they hit them. But for some reason they didn't. So, and I can tell you the bridge over Spring Valley was built. Yes, my wife and I had to come down. Well, I came down the 401, and then of course they built the bridge, and things changed. But thank you very much for for the good work you're doing. And I could also suggest, if you have any extra money, we've got a few bridges in Quinte West that we could put it towards. So thank you. Okay. All right, we look forward to seeing you at the dump.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I'm at Renee Smith. He's got some Chuck Acker, board member, Dale Ferrier, director, and DM DeCoste, Trenton resident and longtime student visitor. Beacon Youth Center will address us and council to request funds for the Beacon Youth Center. Thank you very much. Glad to see you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Worship, and nice to see you again. I used to work for Jim
There's your key.
many years ago. Oh,
You can change.
oh, okay. Oh, we can advance them this way, so just forward. Okay. Thank you very much for Council of Quinte West for having us here to do our presentation. My name's Renee Schmidt. I was at one time the director of the Beacon Youth Center in Brighton. We have here Dahlia Tifour, who is our current director of the Beacon. We have Chuck Acker, a longtime board member at the Beacon Youth Center, and Diem DeCoste, who recently graduated from ENSS. He is a Quinte West resident, as are we, Chuck and myself. Dahlia is not.
Chuck Acker's an old guy. Yes, he is.
Chuck.
Yeah.
So our
About
mayor
the same
knows
age
Chuck
as some of us up here.
Yeah, that's right. So we're just going to go through these the slides here, and you'll be able to see. I was hoping it'd just play continuously, but anyway. So the Beacon Youth Center, I'll just actually back right up a bit. We're going forward all the time now. Anyway, Beacon Youth Center. It's been a welcoming presence at East Northumberland. I'm not going to read it all to you since we've been there about 20 years. And the interesting thing about the Beacon is we haven't asked for help in the past, but many of the students that we see are bused students to ENSS who actually are residents of Quinte West. So they live in the Murray Ward, Murray Township. We have every day for lunch, every school day that we are open, which is all school days in the school calendar year, pardon me, except for bus cancellation days. We get 35 to 45 students. They sign in. We keep track of the numbers. Our director, Dahlia, she's the one who sets the tone. And the tone has been there already in the past, but we have just 3 rules. Respect the place, respect each other, respect yourself. And it's a friendly, happy atmosphere. I was a teacher for 28 years, and the last thing I would want to do is be around a bunch of teenagers just in a normal circumstance. And yet this, it makes me feel good, seeing kids who actually are the way kids ought to be. They're respectful, they're pleasant, they're polite, they say please, they say thank you. There's a lot of good things about it. Anyway, we do things for Christmas. The volunteers that we have, we're mostly, like myself, retired people with professional background many times. We all have vulnerable sector police checks. So, as I said before, many students in the last 20 years have been coming from Murray Township, Murray Ward, to ENSS as students. So the ratepayers to Quinte West. We serve lunch, and it's free. The health unit likes it. They inspect us on a regular basis. Nobody gets hassled, teased, or bullied, and that is an issue. That can be an issue, and I know it's the way schools have been since COVID. I think anyone involved in the education system would agree that things did get out of hand a lot. I think there's a lot more permissiveness than there needs to be. We're not permissive about important things. Our rules, as I said, are simple. They're posted. The odd time, you might hear an F-bomb or something else, and we simply say, watch your language, and that's all you hear of it. They just correct themselves. And it's a pleasant place. They all get together, it's nice. We stop for a quick prayer of thanks for the food, and some of the boys are more aggressive. They'll say, I want to pray today. And there's 2 or 3 extroverts, and they'll do the prayer for us, or we will lead it, and it's short and simple. We are a Christian organization, and that guides the principles that we as volunteers abide by, but we do not discriminate in any way against the students who come to us. We don't care if they have a faith or not, or what their faith is, whatever their denomination is, or whatever. They could be anything at all. We only ask those 3 rules: respect the place, respect yourself, respect each other. Dahlia has organized this summer trip. They were going to go camping. They went to Wonderland instead. But in the previous year, they did overnight camping at a friend's. It was a free campsite. And many of them had never done this kind of thing before. Here they are at night. Our beacon is open in the evenings as well, depending on how many volunteers we get. We sometimes open in the evening, and that's more for the Brighton residents. They would do things there, and it's a good atmosphere. And some of us have employed the students that we've seen at the beacon to help us around the house, around the farm, the yard, whatever. In my case, splitting wood here with our old friend Dixon, and they learn skills, and it's kind of like, it's just a relationship of trust. The beacon provides that kind of thing. This is a map of the busing area for ENSS, and Mayor Harrison will have a better understanding of how this came out, but how so many people from Quinte West ended up going to Northumberland County School. But anyway, there it is. And about half of what you see on that map are people living in the Quinte West area. So please help. So already Brighton Municipal Council, they actually asked the beacon to exist years ago, and that's what got it started. Our local businesses support us, churches and individual donors. Our budget is very modest. Chuck, do you want to talk about our budget just a little bit?
Last year, our budget was $115,500. That included salary, but when you take the salary out, because our director has to raise her own funds, anybody gives us a donation does not cover salaries. It's the operation of the beacon itself. And by the time we paid all our expenses, we had a net income of $50 at the end of the year. This year, it's basically the same budget. We're out all summer long trying to raise funds to keep us going. And Renee mentioned numbers, and we keep track of our numbers, because if we come to your council, you may say, well, how many number of kids are we talking about, 10, 15, or whatever? Last year, we had, for the lunch times attending, and there were duplicates, they were more than once, we had 5,300 kids come for lunch. 850 came at nighttime. This year, we're not open at lunchtime during the summer months because the school is closed. We have had so far 3,776 come for lunch from January to the end of June, and then for the month of September, and 257 have showed up now at nighttime. So it's a busy place. And the kids are very appreciative of what we do. They thank us when they go out the door for what we do for them. Some of them need the food, some don't, and we don't care. You come in that door, you're welcome, and sit down and do what you want to do and have your meal. Any questions on the budget or on the numbers?
We don't usually ask questions during,
Oh, okay, sorry.
yeah, but
It's a delegation.
you can, but do you want to ask? If you got a question, go ahead.
Out of that budget, how much is used for food?
Pardon me?
Food, the costs.
Of your budget, how much is used for
How much
food?
is for food? This past year, it was 8,000.
Oh.
Now, we have a lot of donations given to gift cards. Churches provide some food. We're not allowed to cook from any food from its original state, like a hamburger or meat and things. The health department are there inspecting us all the time, and all our volunteers pretty well all have to take the food handling course. So we just keep hoping money keeps coming in so we can keep providing, and people provide food as well.
Did your director go throughout Trenton the other day, specifically Phyllis Levy? Were you talking to Phyllis Levy about this the other day, about support for food?
No.
No? Okay. I was asked that question.
This is Dahlia Tufour. Dahlia is a recent immigrant to Canada, originally from Syria and by way of Beirut, Lebanon, And Dahlia has been just a great enriching presence for us, very wise. You want to speak? You want to say something about?
Oh, well, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions? Anyone else?
I'd like to point out, when you're talking about budget, and Duncan, that's an excellent question to ask, compared to other youth centers. So about 10 years ago, or well, close to 15 years ago now, I did the position that Dahlia is doing now. And we lost any kind of leadership, just coincidentally. And I wanted to find out how youth centers are run. And I visited a whole bunch. And I visited many in Southwest Ontario and regionally around here, Belleville, Brighton, not Brighton, but different places. I don't know of any other youth center that I ever visited that has as many student visitors in any given week or operated on as low a budget as we do. It was just, in fact, the budgets many times go to pay for staff, and they are sometimes 10 times higher than ours. Anyway, just thought I'd mention it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We'll be doing our budget later on this year, and we'll certainly, I can't make any promises because we're just like everybody else. We got all kinds of projects and things to do, but just short on the other end of the stick, so to speak. But I do appreciate what you're doing, and yes, young people need to be supported in any way we can. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Want to say anything, DM?
Okay.
No.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, is George still here, or did he leave? Or, got one more. Oh. Anything?
Your worship, after I had my conversation with him, he's decided to go home instead, so I can address his concerns with the OPP, so.
He likely wants to watch the ball game, doesn't he? Right? So do we. Right. Okay, anyone for public input? Come on up. Come on up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You're going to hear more about my letter in section 11.
Oh,
for
just
anybody-
give us your name, Dave. And
Anybody doesn't know me, I'm Dave Fleeler. I'm past president of Trenton Curling Club. I also have a few other members here. Bill Russell's president and our treasurer, Phil
there's somebody
Peterson.
else at the back, too.
And, word got out that I was going to talk today, or they were going to talk about me, so they snuck in. I promise they'll be really quiet. So I'd just like to thank Mayor Harrison and Council
Excuse me,
for
Your Worship.
the
Question
continued support.
before this carries on. This is in regards to item 11, is it 11.1 that's on it? I have
Yeah.
declared a conflict of interest, and I will not be participating. Thank you.
Okay. So I'd like to thank Mayor Harrison and Council for continued support at Trenton Curling Club, which is vital to our continued operation in Quinte West. Our ice is in, and we're getting ready to go for another great season. I've received a couple of grants this year, one for over 7,000 installed speakers, and to start a yoga for seniors program that runs Mondays and Thursdays at 11:30. Cost is $10 per member and $15 for non-members. So the chair yoga's on Mondays, so Mary, you can come out and participate in that. And the mat yoga will be on the Thursdays. I also got a grant to improve the accessibility for $31,000. So I'm going to do 5 doors with automatic doors and improve the washroom accessibility, which is almost complete. I got a few more things to do with the washroom. We still haven't come up with a solution to do a ramp for out on the ice to do curling, wheelchair curling, but that's a project for the future. We're also planning a number of fundraising bond spills for the season. The firefighters are coming back, the CFB firefighters. For some reason, the bar does really well when they're there. We got the ladies spiel, and we do a mixed spiel. And these all bring people in from outside the community and spend lots of dollars in the community. We are planning a couple of fundraising bun spiels on the Community Curling Day into January, and a fun spiel on February 14th that anybody can participate in. Last year, we did a fundraising for community living, and the year before, we did fundraising for United Way. Again, this year, we had to make extensive repairs to our aging ice plant, which needs to be replaced very soon. The brine pump cost $7,000, and the labor to put it in was $14,000. We had some of our own people do some of the work on the concrete base that had to go in there, and they donated their time and money for that. So the $8,000 grant last year went towards, most of it went to pay our taxes of approximately $7,000. So I'm requesting on behalf of Trenton Curling Club to raise our grant, our annual grant, to $15,000. This amount is actually less than what the City of Quinte West is indirectly subsidizing the Sterling Curling Club. And you can, I can explain that. So from the City of Quinte West website, from the December 4th, 2024 special council meeting, there's the budget there for the Sterling Arena. And it posted, and it shows that $158,000 went to the Sterling Arena. And that was the share paid by the City of Quinte West. Now, 4 municipalities contribute to the Sterling Arena, and that's up to $475,000. Also in that budget, it shows the Sterling Club paying only $25,000 for all their operating costs. Now, I think it's fantastic that the city can subsidize the arena board that is not actually part of Quinte West. However, it does place Trenton Curling Club at a significant disadvantage, as our operating costs are double what the Sterling Curling Club paid for a 4-sheet curling rink, and this subsidy, I understand, has been in place since 1976. Our utility costs last year were $43,000, and our taxes were $6,751, so pretty close to $50,000. Plus, we paid an auditor $800, we paid $10,000 for insurance. We pay for snow plowing. There's no grass to cut. So what I'd like to see is some kind of long-term agreement or partnership with the city going forward. Possibly a meeting with Jacqueline and possibly Caleb and maybe the facility director would be a good start, as there are a number of in-kind partnerships that might also work and be very helpful for us. For example, review of our financials by someone from the city with an accounting background would be helpful, as we are a public benefit not-for-profit organization, and that would save us the cost of an audit. We're also going to be coming to the city with a big ask within the next 2 years for a new ice plant. If we can save enough money in our capital fund for a new plant, we need to save at least $150,000, apply to Trillium for $150,000, and get 50 or more from the city to realistically to be in a position to install a new ice plant, which is anywhere from $300,000 to $600,000, depending on who's going to do it. So that's basically it. Our capital account, we have saved up to, I think we're 75,000? 73,000 we have in a capital fund right now, saving for that plant. So we got some ways to go, and we got to keep our fingers crossed that that plant won't break down. Anyways, thank you for your consideration.
Okay, well,
Take questions or?
Yeah, well, thank you very much, and you know, I'm not a curler, but that doesn't mean it isn't very important to this city, and you and I both know it is.
It is,
what you
yeah.
do, and yeah, you have a lot of young people there. I know you do.
We get probably between 2,000 and 3,000 people use that club every year.
Yeah.
So, including members, we have CFB Trenton do an intersection league. We have another a league of 32 that do their own thing, and we have about 160 members on our own. We had 65 learn to curls last year, so we had 65 brand new people tried it out. Yeah. So anyways, we're doing great, and we sure hope that you can support us.
Director Grimman, anything else at this time, or you're good?
Through Mr. Mayor, thank you, Mr. Fleeler, for coming this evening. Yeah, I'd be happy to meet with Mr. Fleeler and his colleagues at the curling club. I know there's been some questions from members of council with regards to the Sterling Arena agreement. If there's desire, I'm certainly open to bringing back more information. I know the group has also submitted an application to the community fund grant, but I believe they're here because their ask is over and above the maximum $5,000 allotment that grant provides.
Okay, anything else? I think the Sterling Arena agreements started with the minor hockey program and expanded from there, but anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
And again, I know maybe we'll be deferring this to budget. I was going to speak to it at action correspondence, but
Yeah.
since
Go ahead.
we're addressing it now.
We will defer it, but go ahead.
Okay,
No,
so.
you go ahead.
Do you want me to wait till?
No, you're
Okay,
fine. Go
all
ahead.
right. So basically, it will be, I imagine council defers this to the full budget. And I think it is important that we do provide information, further information regarding the Sterling Rodden Arena agreement we have. And I would ask when we get there that staff look to provide that when we look at the budget, a summation, because I do sit on the arena board on behalf of Quinte West Council. And I think it's good to have those details and that background. So just because everyone's here, or a few members are here, as you know, we've had that agreement since 1976 as a part of when it was Sydney Township, and they wanted the arena in the north, and it's worked out very well. So that was just a bit of the background. And then when it became Quinte West, we assumed those agreements. And it's a legal agreement, and we take our responsibility seriously with respect to the users of that and the documentation of that. With regard to the budget, the budget covers the arena operations. The curling club has its own budget. So the 25,000, I think you referenced from looking at the website,
Right.
is there a portion of the utility bill that is connected? Because as you know, the plant is connected.
Right.
So with
Which is-
regard to
Which
the.
is probably half of what it should be.
Well, we have the details, and that's why I think it's important that we have those facts as the city looks at what we're going to contribute for the Sterling Arena, or for the club. But I just wanted to clarify some things, because to the agreement, there's a Schedule A agreement relates to the curling club. The curling club is responsible for all of their operating costs and their capital costs, and they have to pay to the arena board their proportion of utilities. So if you see 25,000, it probably relates to hydro bill. The water sewer bill I know is really high this year. So it's because there's the operating costs of the arena and the operating costs of the curling club, two separate attachments and agreements
Right.
to the legal agreement. So on its face, it looks like, oh, they're only paying 25,000. No, they have their own budget. They are responsible to pay their portion of the capital. We just had a new condenser, well, a used new condenser, and they had to pay us, or pay our portion. So I think that's important to know, that it's a long-standing agreement, which the city is responsible for and will be, and that the operating costs need to be determined. Doesn't take away from your request, but I think it's important for those to know.
Right.
The city isn't paying for the curling club in Sterling.
No, but indirectly, it ends up giving them more than what we get. Because we only get, well, because we pay taxes, we pay almost $8,000 in tax.
Right.
Or $7,000 in taxes, so we get about $1,000 from the city. Real money that we
Right.
can use. And that's it, that
You're-
we get from the city.
And I
So-
do think that your presentation is good, and that when we get to that action correspondence, it would get referred to budget and further the details at that
Okay.
time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody else? Okay, thank you very much. It's, yeah, well, keep throwing rocks, that's the main thing, you know. You're the only group that can throw them, and it's legal. So, thank you. Anyone else for public input? Anyone else? Come on up, or? Okay, well, while we're just moving on, I have a report here that came from our detachment commander, Inspector McNaughton. So, and you likely know more about this than I do. This year, impaired, this year are 107 charges. And that's compared to last year at 72. So already this year, the OPP in Quinte West have laid 107 impaired driving charges. Yeah, that's just ridiculous, and people don't seem to be understanding. Anyways, the detachment has also had success chasing down traffic complaints that often turn into impaired drivers. Wow. In the coming weeks, the Quinte West Detachment, OPP Highway Safety Division, along with Belleville Police, Prince Edward County OPP, along with the Center Hastings Detachment, will be conducting a 2-week focus patrol on reducing impaired driver. Officers will be performing ride programs in the 4 municipalities. The goal will be to set up in areas that will provide officers the best ability to interact with the motoring public and utilize the tool of mandatory alcohol screening. During the 2-week, officers will also have every driver they stop provide a breath sample. Canadian law gives officers the right to have anyone operating a vehicle on a highway the equipment to provide a breath sample. So that's obviously a change. Officers from the above agencies will revisit impaired driving together throughout the year as they all recognize that road safety is important to everyone that uses them. And I know the inspector and the detachment deputy are at a conference, and one of the topics is what's happening in the province with the impaired driving. I just want you to be aware of, and I'm not against people having a drink. Don't get me wrong. I'm against people drinking and driving, and I think we all support that. We don't need, well, obviously some do, but we don't want to jeopardize somebody else's safety and life. So, anyway, anything else for public input? Otherwise, we'll keep going. Okay. The next one I've got is resolution that staff report Quinte West 2025-00144 regarding review of billing practices for non-sewage water consumption be received. Need a mover and a seconder?
Yeah, I'll move it.
Councillor, who said I'll move it?
Councillor Quinte.
Councillor Quinte moves it, seconded by Councillor McHugh. Any questions or comments? Questions or comments? All in favor? Carried, thank you. All right. Next resolution, staff report, Quinte West 2025-00142 by Caleb Denowden, Director of Finance, City Treasurer, regarding charity rebate bylaw update be received, and the council enact bylaw 2025-130 being a bylaw to establish a tax rebate program for eligible charities and similar organizations and to repeal bylaw 07-53. Got a mover and a seconder? Councillor Elliott move, Councillor Freeman second. Thank you. Any comments or questions? Director Denowden, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This is just an update to the charity rebate bylaw, which has been almost about 20 years. Mostly the same. We just took some things from the Municipal Act to improve it, and I just want to clarify that in the draft it shows the effective date is January 1, 2025. We're going to make that January 1st, 2026. So I will make that amendment on the final draft, final version of the bylaw.
Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Minutes of the Planning Advisory meeting held September 18th be approved.
So moved.
Councillor Elliott moved, seconded by seconded by, I need a second, Counselor Armstrong. All right, any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you very much. Okay, letter from, I got that. Resolution, the correspondence from Trenton Curling Club be received and filed. I mean, moving the seconder for this one. Counselor McHugh moves, seconded by, somebody's got a second. Counselor Armstrong, all right. Any questions, any further? All in favor? Thank you very much. Council proclaimed November 17th as Canadian Premature Babies Foundation and World Prematurity Date in the city of Quinte West. Moving a seconder for this one, please. Did I? Okay, well, I'll go back if I did. Councillor Card moves and seconded by Councillor Boyce. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Your Worship, I just happened to miss the 11-1A. Were we still going to refer the request to budget? Was that still going to be the plan?
Well, I don't see what else we can do. Have to be referred to budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought we would need a motion to refer that to
Well,
budget.
Well, we can't answer it now. Do you need a motion to refer it, or?
Yes, at this point, all you've done is receive it, so if you want a motion to
Yeah,
refer it, then you'll need to
I
make the
prefer
motion.
to make
All
the
right,
motion.
moved by Councillor Boyce. Need a seconder? Councillor Armstrong? Any questions? All in favor? Thank you very much. Okay, carried.
Excuse
Then,
me, sorry, Mr. Mayor?
I missed one, but I'll come back to it.
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to speak to that motion.
Okay.
We're referred to
Sorry,
budget.
go-
I believe
yeah,
it
go
was
ahead.
pa-
Go ahead.
The only thing I would like to ask is this question regarding the agreement with Sterling Rodden for the arena and curling that surfaces fairly regularly during budget time. I think it's important that there is a staff report, just so everyone understands that role and what we pay, and so it's clear with everyone. Because I sit there, but I think it's helpful to the budget process, to staff, and to council. Thank you.
Yeah, and I would certainly include that in my motion.
Well, I'm not going, yeah, no, I'm just kidding. That's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
absolutely.
Yes, and we appreciate the fact that you're there, and we know that you are going to be very cautious as to, yeah, I know, it's all simple. We're all in the same
I really
boat.
try, and they run a tight ship. I
Yeah.
will say that.
All in favor, I guess, carried, thank you. The one that I missed is,
Mr. Cowan,
pardon?
Mr. Michael Cowan.
World Polio Week is the one I missed, right?
Yep.
In a move and a seconder for this one. Councillor Katsovas moves, seconded by Councillor Card. I thought we had, I'm missing something, because I thought we had polio much better, I guess, than we have. Yeah. Anyway, pardon?
Michael's prepared to talk. He's got a brochure with it.
Are you, anything you want to say, Michael? Come on up. I can tell you, my wife was a patient of polio.
Thank you very much, Your Worship, and members of council. I just want to bring forward just a few facts on polio, which is really something that we in North America think that it's gone. Just a little information. The first effort to mass immunization was done by Rotary, was in the Philippines in 1979, and it was a major success. Polio affects mostly children under the age of 5. Rotary, and I'm talking about Rotary International, is a founding partner of Global Polio Eradication Initiative and has been working for 35 years for the eradication globally. Rotary has contributed nearly $2.1 billion to the project, and 3 billion children in 122 countries have been immunized. Today, polio is endemic in only Afghanistan and Pakistan. And here's a major fact to remember. If all work was to cease at this point today on the fight against polio, in 10 years, 200,000 people would contact polio. So it's just a few points that I wanted to bring forward to council.
Well, thank you very much. I know one of your predecessors, Will Wilkinson, was a big Rotarian who traveled the world to help.
He was Rotary International President.
Yes, right. So we thank all of you for the work you're doing. Yeah, and keeping us up to date, because I'm one of the guys that I thought we had, but anyways. Thank you. Okay. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, I think we're at
Turn your
the...
page over. Turn your page over.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Proclamation C.
Okay. Council proclaim November 25th, 2025 as International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women in the City of Quinte West, and further that the Quinte West sign and the Veteran Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color purple on November 25th, 2025, pending no scheduling conflicts. Mover and a seconder, Councilor Stidham moves. Councilor Freeman or Councilor Reid, I don't know which one.
Give them both.
Okay, I'll take one of you right now. Take Councilor Freeman now, and then I'll get Councilor Reid in a minute. Okay. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Yeah, that was neat to see the youth center and what they're doing, and that everybody is to be treated with respect and dignity. That's a big plus, because that's exactly what we're telling people, and that's what we support. So, okay, correspondence, printed information. Need to move in a seconder for printed information, please. Councilor Sharp moves, seconded by Councilor Reid. Okay. Any questions or comments? Questions or comments? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, next I got non-printed, the printed information items 12, 1A to F, where council information be received and filed. Mover and the seconder for this one, please. Councilor Freeman moves. Councilor Quinte seconds. Any comments or questions? Comments or questions? All in favor? I haven't got enough. Let me see, all in favor, please. 1, 2, 3, okay, carried, thank you, okay. All right, next is notice of motion. Any notice of motion? I don't see any, that's good. I think the Blue Jays are on next. Yeah, right. We're going to pass a bylaw that the Blue Jays will be the World Series champions. Can we do that? No, I guess we can't. I'd like to. Can't do that. Okay. All right, bylaws. Anything under bylaws? Be read first, second, and
Excuse me,
third
Mr.
time?
Mayor, can we please pull?
I didn't see anything under new business, but is there something?
When we go to the bylaws, can we please pull bylaw 25-129, as I have a conflict of interest on that, so I can vote on the rest of the bylaws?
Yeah, sure. Yep. Anything under new business? No, declare that closed. Okay. Bylaws.
Councilor Carter had something here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Should have been under announcements technically, but I wanted to just make everyone aware recent changes with the province for Healthcare Connect. You can actually sign up now with an existing physician. Used to be previously you had to renounce and be released, become unattached to go on Healthcare Connect. You can now, if you are with a doctor outside of the region and you were afraid to give them up to go on the list, you can now go on the list and keep that doctor. And then when you come up in your time comes up on the list and you're offered a new one, you can choose to take or not, keep what you have, or trade to hopefully a more local option. So I wanted to make that aware.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Give me the number again, Councilor Siddle.
25-129?
25-129. 129?
And if I could make a comment on the bylaws as well?
Well, I got it, yeah, okay. Okay, well, bylaws will pass except 25-129, so I'm going to move in a second or to approve bylaws except 129. Councilor Stedall moves, seconded by Councilor Sharp.
Can I just make a comment?
Yes?
So I want to thank staff. There are 15 bylaws, well, 14
Yes.
with the exception of that one, for their thoroughness in explaining them all to me, because these are a number of different items that have gone on over the past few months
Or years.
and have been brought forward. And anyway, I know we usually just, approve and pass and try to get out of here as fast as we can without actually walking through them. So I appreciate staff taking the time with me to walk through each of the different bylaws so I can further understand what we are, because this is our actual business and it gets kind of glossed over very quickly.
Well, I think we've all, I've dealt with these for a good many times, so anyways, that's my problem. That's why I maybe don't spend as much time. Anyways, okay, I got, I'll accept that these bylaws be read a first, second, and third time, and that said bylaws be approved. Okay? Except for the one I mentioned. All in favor? Thank you very much. Carried. And now we've got the one that we need to, 129 is amended to rezone property known. That's the one, is that the one? I think so, yeah. 25-129, and move in seconder for this one. Councilor Stedall's recusing yourself. Councilor Coombs moves, and Councilor Reed had her hand up. Thank you very much. Second, any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you very much. Carried. Okay. Now I need a confirmation bylaw, and that'll include the Blue Jays winning them. Okay. Mover and a seconder for confirmation. Thank you. I need a mover and a seconder. Councilor Sharp moves, seconded by Elliott. Councilor Elliott. Any other, all in favor? Carried. Anything from staff? Anything I've missed? Anything at all on this side? Director Jardine, anything on your way? No trees or anything in your eyes tonight? You're good? Okay. Anything new with water, Matt? Everything's good? Thank you very much. We need more rain. Yeah, we need more rain. We need rain, period. Okay. I need 2 for adjournment. Thank you very much. And have a good evening. And tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow's a new day. Thank you.